Hey guys, welcome back to another Punishing Raven video. Now today, I'm gonna be talking about something that you don't know that you definitely should know about pain cages, because originally I didn't know about all this stuff until I figure it out. I think like, hey, this is actually pretty useful. I should definitely make a video about this because I think a lot of new players would actually want to know about this. This could help you for like a lot of things, so let's get into the video. But before that, so a lot of you have already unlocked your dorm, right? Now take a look at my dorm. I'm actually proud of this. It looks a little bit chaotic, but this is actually the first time that I invest time into something this useless for some reason. But you know, I'm quite satisfied of how it turned out to be. You know, it actually turns out to be something that really pleased my eyes. But you know, enough of that, let's get into the video. So there's actually like 3 things you have to pay attention to when you're doing your pain cages, because it's definitely like a super helpful tip. It's kind of like some hack or maybe like something that you should be noticing. So if we go into the pain cages, the first thing I'm gonna say about it is I didn't know that you could share your memories and weapons amongst like the 2 different stages. Like let's say if I use my Lee for Roland, alright, let's see, insufficient stamina. Let's say I use my Lee to fight Roland, right? I use my best set memory that I have, which is this set, which provides like 3 ping increased damage, each orb increases damage, increases elemental damage and physical damage. That's basically the best set that I have. I do not have like a secondary set that is as powerful as this set. I actually didn't know about this. I thought you could only like log on to 1 memory set to only like 1 bosses like Roland. One day I was like, hey, maybe if it's not locked, is it locked or not? Because from playing Honkai Impact Third, you actually got your stigma, you call it stigma in Honkai Impact Third, locked into a certain bosses. Let's say if you challenge Roland, you use a set of memory and a weapon, it actually got locked into only that boss you could challenge with that set of memory. You cannot change it into another bosses when you're let's say when you're trying to fight like an Iron Maiden. When you press into it, you press your own like characters and you try to change the memory to this guy, to Lucia. It's impossible because it's locked. That's the case for Honkai Impact Third. I thought this was the same case, but it actually isn't. You could actually grab all the memories, the best memory set that you have for your main DPS to your secondary DPS when you're doing a second boss. So it's actually a pretty good thing to know that. Because of that, I actually got a very, very low score in the first week when I'm doing pain cages because I didn't know about that. But now that I know about that, I actually get higher score from that now. That's the first thing. Let's get into the second thing. Now the second thing is, that's the same cases with your characters as well. Now what I mean about that is this wouldn't actually be helpful unless you have like more than 2 DPS. Let's say you have your main DPS. Let's say like a month later you pull Alpha. Alpha would definitely be your strongest unit in your whole team. And then the current DPS that you've been training right now, let's say it's maybe for you it's Karenina, Kamui, Bianca, Lee, or maybe Entropy Lee, right? Because of that, let's say your secondary DPS doesn't do as much damage as your main DPS, which is Alpha. Now, in order to obtain the highest score possible, you've already trained your secondary DPS and your secondary DPS do enough damage, but just not as much as your Alpha. You could actually do this. Because this is actually like, because your characters are not in the lock system, it's free, you're free to change them around in different bosses. So that means you could use your secondary DPS, which has more than enough attack damage or what else, enough battle power to defeat Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3 bosses easily, getting the highest score possible. So if you want your Alpha to get the highest score possible at level 4 and level 5, then the first 3 stages, maybe you could use your secondary DPS. Let's say it's Kamui. You use it to do like first, second, and third stage for Roland, getting the highest score possible because they are easy. You don't have to like use your main DPS and waste your stamina on this one. Use your secondary DPS and deal with this. 3 stages on Roland, 2 stages on Iron Maiden, the first and the second. Because they're easy, there's not much difficulty of it, you can get the highest marks possible, closest to 25,000. And then use your Alpha to deal with 4 and 5 for Roland, because she does the most damage. The higher the difficulty got to where it's Chaos and Hell, the harder it gets, so you need to bring out your best DPS. So this is where you can just use your Alpha to fight like the Chaos and the Hell for Roland, and then 3 remaining stages for Iron Maiden. This could maximize your score to the highest possible that you can get, instead of trying to pick Alpha and fight 1 to 5 stages for Iron Maiden and use your secondary DPS for Roland. Because your secondary DPS doesn't do as much damage as your main DPS, which is Alpha. Let's say your secondary DPS again is Kamui. It doesn't do as much damage at like Chaos stages and Hell stages. This is like a pretty good strategy that you could utilize. So I actually figured this out like a while ago. I was thinking like, if our weapons and memories are not locked, then characters shouldn't be locked as well. Luckily, the characters work in like a stamina kind of thing, so you don't have to worry about all this. You can apply these strategies to any other stages that you want. So if you find this strategy helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the third one. The third one isn't that like important as good as this one, but I actually didn't know about it as well. That's why I lose a few black cards on the first week. So now originally I thought that you have to defeat the boss in order to claim the rewards from the weekly missions, which is right here. I thought you have to defeat the boss to claim as completing a stage for the first time, clearing the stage for the first time for Pain Cage to, you know, receive the black cards. Now that was what I thought because I didn't know about it. But after I lose to the Roland boss on the level 5, let's say this one. Stages, as you can see, I only got like 40,000 marks because I lost to it. I'm not able to kill it because I failed. I don't have enough like damage on my DPS, so I failed. Now I thought this wouldn't consider as clearing the stages. That's why I didn't bother doing it because I failed. I just clicked Leaf Battle. I didn't claim some black cards on week 1, which is really stupid. But after figuring that out, like thankfully I figured it out now that I actually failed for the first time. I just clicked save score. I was just like, I don't give a damn anymore, you know. I got 40,000 points, so why bother it? Because I don't really care about it in the early game. In the early game, you're definitely not going to be able to get into the top tier. Those who are actually in the top tier are people who wail this game out or grind the shit out of this game. But after failing it, because of that, clicking the save score and didn't give a damn about it, after I click on back to the main screen, I actually see my mission light up with that blue little tip on the mission. I click into it, I click in the weekly, and I see that you could actually claim the black card even if you fail doing the challenge. I didn't know about it. Hopefully you know about it and you didn't waste any black cards. But for all those new players out there that just get into the game, if you don't know about this, be sure to like claim your black cards. Just do the boss. Even if you fail, even you couldn't beat the boss, you could still claim your black cards. Don't waste your black cards. But so thanks for watching. If you find it any way helpful, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.